You are tuning in to the You Are Loved podcast, where we hope to bring love and kindness to the world.
Welcome to another You Are Loved podcast, where we hopefully help to inspire you by bringing on some amazing guests like Dr. Juliane Swindle. If you enjoy the podcast and you want to have your own transformation, definitely we'll have Dr. Juliane's information or Dr. Swindle's information out there. Also, we do have a 21-day transformational journal that you'll be able to take advantage of, and you can get it absolutely free. The link will be in the bio. But Dr. Juliane, she is a health and life coach with a PhD in biology. She helps women over 40 reclaim their radiance, beauty, and vitality through simple lifestyle shifts and a surprising diet change. As the creator of 90-Day Ageless Radiance Over 40, the total transformation, she empowers women to age vibrantly. Passionate about gardening, reading, and sewing, she's also a proud mom and homeowner. Juliane, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. So you have a PhD in biology and now work as the health and life coach. So what was the moment that made you shift from studying the science of life to teaching women how to truly live it, especially over 40?
Yeah, it was basically my own challenges as an old mom. So I delivered with 40, and he was a baby that did not sleep well. So until today, actually. He still wakes me up at least once a night. But so during this time, and at the beginning, I was still working full time. So I would I have quite a few pets. So and now a house. So I had a lot of responsibilities that I had to take care of. And I noticed that my body did not function anymore as it used to. Like I developed a ringing in my ears, or it was a dull sound that the doctors couldn't really make any sense of, and I got memory problems. Take longer. I would keep forgetting things, and of course, if I look in the mirror, I couldn't really recognize myself. I looked tired. I looked old, and I didn't. Yeah, that was the time when I thought, okay, something needs to change, and I did, on top of it all, a certification as a health and life coach, and could help myself, and now I want to help other moms, or not only moms, other women over 40 who might have other challenges that prevent them from being as healthy and vibrant as they would like to be.
No, that's amazing. Yeah. So when women, a lot of times, like in their midlife, they start to feel invisible, or like their best years are behind them. What do you say to those women who feel like they've lost their radiance, and where they can reclaim it? I'm assuming that's probably kind of what you were going through at that time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, self-love is definitely a huge part of that. That's your thing. I know that. So it starts a lot with inner work. Yeah. So, I mean, the outer is just a reflection of the inner. And so we want to start with the inside, and a lot of things might be resolving by doing that. So a lot of mindset shifts, especially regarding worthiness, but also like the self-concept of, it is a self-concept, but also putting yourself on top of the priority list, and don't yourself at the very bottom because you think, okay, I first have to take care of this and this and this. But it is part of your responsibility to take care of yourself, because otherwise you're not able to provide a lot of beings or things are dependent on you, so you have to take good care of yourself. And I think that is the basis.
Yeah, 100%. And that's great that even though you started being a mom at 40, you've had the opportunity and at least the knowledge to not put yourself last, whereas a lot of times very young moms really kind of dive into momhood, working, and their family and their husband or whoever, and then they have a tendency to just neglect themselves, right? And so I think that's great to recognize that early on, and then we're able to make those changes. Would there be a couple of other ideas that you would be able to share or that women could make today to like start feeling better in their skin?
Can you repeat that? There was a slight glitch. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Yeah. Okay. So what I was saying is are you able to provide a couple of other tips, like 2 other tips that women would be able to make, tiny, but like not big changes that they could make today to start feeling better in their skin?
Right. So first of all, I would recommend, for me, it is a very hard thing to do to get up and take care of myself, because first of all, my son is up before me, so he wakes up and he usually wakes me up. So I don't have the luxury to wake up and journal or or reflect, how do I want to start my day? Yeah. And visualize, oh yeah, I'll be this goddess for this day. So a lot of times this is not realistic for a lot of women, and for several reasons. So I usually work with their unique circumstances, and I suggest to find the pockets of time that work for them, which is nothing new, yeah, but you have to make the time. And and it's worth it. And even if it's just 5 minutes, yeah, even these 5 minutes sitting down, while get your cup of coffee or tea, yeah, take a short breather before you start something new, like in between certain tasks. Like after I drop him off at school, come home, I do my 10 minutes training on my home trainer. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Even though it's just 10 minutes, yeah, I do it, and it's not a big loss. Yeah, it's not like, oh, because I did these 10 minutes today, I couldn't do this and this. Yeah, and whatever it is important for you. I mean, it depends on each individual's goals, what you want to do. If you want to change your diet or hydrate better, put a glass of water on the counter where you can see it.
Yeah.
Then you just need to grab it and drink it. So like the environment plays a huge role. Yeah. Prep the environment so that it stimulates you, that it encourages good habits that you want to establish. Or you can also trick yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna do this for 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. And usually, when somebody wants to start like maybe jogging, you have to get your shoes on and so forth. Yeah. And once you're jogging for 2 minutes, you usually don't turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you keep going, and then you realize, oh, this is actually feeling quite good. I'm just gonna get going, and as long as you can, as long as you and every little bit counts, every little minute counts. And
Yeah, 100%. I know that I always keep a glass of water by my bed at nighttime because when I wake up in the mornings, I'm just always so dehydrated. And it's like the first thing I want is to like quench my thirst. And if I'm thirsty throughout the night and stuff like that, then I have the opportunity to drink a glass of water then as well. So it's like, I feel like I just like water is like my life, you know, that and being able to do some workouts throughout the day, whether it's running or walking or going to the gym and doing a spin class, just different things. And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym, but then once I'm there and it's done, I'm just so happy that I got it in, you know. I never regret it, I could tell you that, even if I'm sore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just this first initial barrier that we have to overcome, and that we can do with some tricks. Yeah. Like
so. Now you talk and like your bio and stuff like that. You talked about like a surprising diet change that's part of your program. Can you just share with us like what that is and how it changed your own life or the lives of those that you've coached?
Yeah, should I reveal the surprise?
I mean, if you'd like to, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I am a plant-based health coach.
Okay.
So, and I came to the conclusion through digging into certain research papers that a whole food plant-based diet is ultimately benefiting not only women, also men, but I'm focusing on women in aging less and developing a really good like microbiome. Yeah, because the gut microbiome is really relies on the fiber in plant food, which is not existing in animal food. There's no fiber in there. Just one example, and including beans, like legumes, beans, nuts, and seeds in your diet can reverse aging or give you years back to your life. Actually, it also eating meat is can actually, so people with insomnia can help their insomnia by switching to a plant-based diet. Tryptophan in meat, it interferes with the melatonin production, actually. So there are certain things and plants actually that you can eat to encourage better sleep, because there is romaine lettuce, for example. Who would have thought it's in the Roman times it was used as a sedative, actually. So it's not as strong, that's for sure. But there is a compound in Roman lettuce that can really help you sleep better. Same with kiwi fruits. So there are certain, eat it at night. Or goji berries have high melatonin. So there are certain, and these compounds are often found in plants. There's certain things that you can do to improve your sleep, and I do that with my son too. You know, I give him the tar cherry juice at night, and I feel it's working. I also tried the kiwis. There's a noticeable difference.
And then a lot of people don't realize, like with all the hormones and stuff like that, that's implanted in different meat foods. I just did like a 21-day path to health fast where we didn't do any meat at all. And I realized that I am a meat eater. I missed it. But we did a lot. It was for a large portion of it. It was raw, like fruits and vegetables, and that was it. And it was actually, pretty good. We just mixed in like with some natural hummus, with some carrots, some baby carrots, and some celery, and I love a great apple. So,
Right.
which apples with peanut butter, which not a lot of people do, but that my grandmother did that with me when I was a kid. So I love that. And so there's a lot of really cool, and you can get your protein and stuff that way too. But yeah, so with like a lot of the hormones, so how can women that are in their 40s, and I'm 51, I haven't even gone through menopause yet, but I also was a late starter with everything. But I do have some friends that are younger than me that are already going through it in their 40s. So how do you think women that either premenopause or menopause, how they can learn to work with the changing biology instead of fighting it? Like, are there any mind shifts or biological truths that you find empower your clients the most?
Yeah, so my focus is not really on hormones, but it's a topic to touch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the journey, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love phytoestrogens.
Mm.
So and there is a really strange paper with a woman who consumed, I'm not sure how much tofu it was, but it was a ridiculous amount of tofu per day. And so there are phytoestrogens in soy for people who, and soy has had a really bad rep, but I think it's coming back because there's no reason for soy to have a bad rep except it's genetically modified and sprayed, which applies to every plant food that's grown like this. So we don't want that, obviously. But organic soy, there's nothing wrong about that. So I recommend that for women. Like I am low in estrogen, so I have also plant milk maker, and I love to make my soy milk myself because it's free of additives and stuff like that. And I use the organic soybeans. So I like to do that. And tofu, I like to eat tofu. And this woman who ate these crazy amounts of tofu, she could increase her libido to a really strange point. We don't want to go into detail here, but so there are a lot of things that you can really achieve with phytoestrogens that I'm really I'm really a big fan of.
Which just sounds like your body would just love all of that.
Yeah,
I did tell my dad to stay away from, like, we went out and got sushi for Father's Day and to his favorite place. And I was like, and I got some edamame, which I love. And I was like, but this is soy, Dad. I was like, and it says estrogen in it. So I wouldn't really eat too much of that. So for my dad anyways, just because it's estrogen. I don't want him ingesting too much.
Yeah, well, men can eat tofu. That's not a big deal.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. So now you also are a gardener. You love to read, you sew, and a proud homeowner. So how do you feel like your like everyday passions, like outside of wellness coaching, do you think play a role in creating, joy, balance, and healing for yourself?
Yeah. So for myself personally, I found gardening to be one of the best things I can do for my, as you said, it's like a one in all tool. It helps my soul because it gets me out of thinking mode, and I'm out there digging. I love weeding for some weird reason. I don't know. It's really liberating, and yeah. So and it's, I mean, I do also a lot of landscaping here. So it's my workout.
Yeah.
It's literally my workout, and digging in the soil is a proven benefits for also the microbiome on the skin. I mean, we have microbiome on the whole body, in the eyes, on the skin, in the gut, and we are just not meant to be isolated from our environment. Yeah, we're not well without these little critters. And yeah, so I just by exposing myself to dirt, to soil, it's proven. I mean, everybody knows that when children are raised with pets, the immune system is just better. Yeah, because there are more germs, there are more microbes around, and the same applies with dirt and soil. So, and not to speak of the own fruits that you can harvest, or vegetables, yeah, which are way better than what you can buy in the store. And so, and being outside is another thing. You get your vitamin D, which is really important. You move outside, get the fresh air. So a lot of benefits. And these might, this is just my personal feeling, or my personal preference, but anybody, not everybody has to start gardening now, but so that's the important thing. Everybody has to find out what works for them. Maybe people don't have a garden, that's the precondition. And you can still have some plants on your windowsill, like herbs or so. And but if you want to move outside, you can either take your bike, or you can walk, or you can jog. There are different different movements. It doesn't have to be an exercise. Yeah, it's just important to move what brings you health.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed, I love being outside, being in the sun, just walking barefoot in grass, and just, feeling like you're one with the earth, and just kind of reconnecting that way. So I think that's awesome. So now another thing is, and especially in life, if you want to grow anything, whether it's something within yourself, or life, or business, or relationships, and consistency is key, right? So
Yes.
what do you think consistency really looks like for a busy woman over 40? And how would you say that you help clients create wellness routines that they can actually stick with in the real world, when they're all their busy schedules?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, it's partly that you prep your environment. So you get reminders of these daily little habits that you want to implement, like the glass of water that you have right by your bedside that reminds you to hydrate in the morning. That's a good way to start. Another thing, so it depends. If my clients have children, that largely depends the day. So first they get dropped off at school, and then what then? Yeah. What time do they have available then? So I would encourage them to create their habits around their daily life, which looks different for everybody. And maybe they want to do for one day or for a whole week, like a little habit tracker that, or maybe they want to write down what they do when, and then they might even be able to pair a new habit that they want to establish with an existing habit. There's a story. So I wanted to include more legumes in my diet. And the thing with legumes, though, is you have to soak them. And that's the tricky part. Yeah. So I had a reminder on my phone. I use a lot of reminders with my phone, which is convenient. And it reminded me at 9:00 at night, when I was facing out on the couch after my son was in bed, to soak the beans. Guess what happened? I never did. Yeah. So,
oh, wow.
yeah. So that's why I said, well, why don't you track your habits and see what you're doing when? So I thought, this is not working. When would be a better time to do this? So
Yeah.
at 5:30, I'm usually in the kitchen prepping dinner. Okay, why do I not set the timer for 5:30? Yeah. Then
Yeah,
I'm
exactly. Because you're
in the
already in the
kitchen
kitchen.
anyway. I'm
Yeah.
there already. I just have to grab the beans, put them in water, and soak them for
That's it.
one day.
Why do you
Yeah.
have to soak them?
It helps with the compounds that are in there that might cause bloating, that make them
Oh.
really hard to digest.
Mm.
So either you can buy cans, BPA-free cans, obviously, and ideally organic, or you buy them dried, and then you can soak them overnight. And I cook them in my pressure cooker, which is way faster, and it also helps with making them better digestible, and they cook very fast. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, that makes total sense. So, what would you say are so as you know? So, and then the other thing is like the consistency, being able to make sure that we are able to put ourselves first in some areas, and then with all of that, it's still battling, being the natural caretaker and putting ourselves last. What do you think? So I'm really like a big proponent of like healthy boundaries to protect ourselves. So what do you think are some non-negotiables, like, daily or weekly practices that you do to stay vibrant, centered, and aligned with your purpose?
Well, this is actually not a practice. This is why non-negotiable is the sleep. So if you know that, because our brain detoxifies at night, and our whole body repairs at night. And if that process is interrupted for several reasons, people might have insomnia, people might have apnea, or wake up in the middle of the night because the bladder is calling. So, and there might be different, reasons for interrupted sleep. So we would have to look at that and fix that first before we look at anything else, I would say. And so the ideal amount of sleep is 7 to 9 hours. You can also sleep too much. It's actually not a thing. And 6 hours sleep, if you only get 6 hours of sleep, it actually changes the expression of over 500 genes. So in a not good way. So we want to get our at least 7 hours of sleep per night. And if that means going to bed earlier, then we do that.
Yeah. I'm such a night owl. I usually work to get about 7 to 8 hours every night, because I'll wake up around 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I usually go to bed around midnight.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, that's awesome. So is there and that's, I would say, with consistency, that's probably one consistent thing that I hear from different people is like just making sure that you get enough sleep and that your body is being repaired during that time. So I always try to make sure I go to sleep with a clean face and a clean body to give my body an opportunity to end with water of flushing my system out from the day's activities, just to make sure that I give my body a head start so it doesn't have to fight as hard while it's working to repair itself, So,
right. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. One thing I would like to mention too in this context is that nasal breathing is also a very, I don't want to call it tool because it's so, breathing is just, if we stop breathing, we die. So, but breathing through the nose, especially at night, is a very undervalued I don't really know what to
Underrated.
Yeah, good thing to do, because mouth breathing actually. So mouth breathing is the #1 cause for cavities, and it also.
Oh, I had no idea about that.
So and it also causes us to produce not to produce vasopressin, which helps us not to go to the toilet at night. So if we wake up from our bladder calling at night, then we might sleep with open mouth breathing. So that's one thing right there. And there are other issues with mouth breathing, actually. So one important thing we can do at night is to, there are nasal strips you can put on your nose. They even sell them at Walmart to open just the pathways of the nose to help breathe better. And there's also mouth tape that you can use to tape the mouth like this, or just a very soft tape that you could use. And you can still speak like that or drink through a straw. So it's not as extreme as one might think. And this can tremendously help you improve the quality of the sleep, because it's not just time that matters, it's also the quality that matters.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So what was and I'm kind of a snorer, so I probably do I probably sleep with my mouth open. But so I guess something like that would help. I never really thought the nose strips worked. But I've never tried them. I just looked at it and I was like, I don't know how that could work, but I probably should try that, because I definitely would love to be able to breathe better at nighttime,
Right. I mean, my husband uses them and he's very resistant to any kind of advice, and he likes them. So
that's awesome. Now, is there like a phrase, a scripture, or like a personal revelation that became your anchor during, like, when you made this turning point in your life, in your wellness journey? Like a phrase, a scripture, or just some type of revelation that you had that you used as, you know what I mean? Like you relied on, like if you were just feeling off or wanting to go back into some old habits or whatever, that really pushed you forward. And, so like mine was a scripture, which was Philippians 4:13 for a long time.
Yeah. So I just, for me, it's like very liberating and important to follow my intuition and my inner voice. And it just called me. It didn't feel right anymore to work with honeybees in the lab. And it was called to different phase in my life. And I think it's very important to be true to yourself and follow your calling.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So, and I completely agree with that. So now if a woman listening has tried everything and feels like nothing is working anymore, and I'm sure you've probably had some clients that came to you when they were just at their like the end of their rope per se, where they just was like, I need to make a transition. I have to make a change. If not, I just feel like I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So what would be like, your honest, like science-backed and soul-filled encouragement for her right now?
Yeah. So the thing is, we have a high expectations. We expect there is a pill that can fix me, or there's something that can heal me overnight or change me overnight. But that's usually not how it works. It's usually, and that's what social media often makes us believe. But we only see the end result. We don't see the way that brought them there, and that's often a path of failure and constant hard work. And I don't want to discourage anybody, but I would say little steps go a long way, and they can make a huge difference, even though it sounds boring. Like going to bed at the same time of day every day,
Yeah.
Or taking your minerals. Oh, minerals, boring. Yeah, and there are just some certain basics, and if these basics are not met, we are tired and we don't function. Yeah, our foggy, and it's just not, yeah, and we look tired and we're not vibrant. And so I would say whatever it is for this person, we would do an assessment, and then we would start in one area that is most important for this person, and then go from area to area and establish a new habits and a new lifestyle.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions. So, and then I would love to find out like where people can find you, and then and then I'll ask you another question in regards to that. But what's one food you always recommend and like one you avoid at all costs?
One food, legumes.
Okay, I had a feeling. And then what's one you'd avoid at all costs?
Fried food.
Okay. America loves fried food, though. How dare you?
I know.
Okay, fill in the blank. A woman over 40 is most powerful when she
is true to herself.
Okay, I love that. So, where are most women at in their lives when they're like, Dr. Juliane Swindle, I need you. I need to have you. I need you to coach me. I need to be able to get to the next level. So where are they usually at right now in their lives when they come to you? Like basically just trying to understand who your ideal person is that comes and hires you.
Well, I wouldn't call it ideal, but they have certainly reached a pain point. Yeah, they have reached a point of no return, basically. They are ready.
Ready to make a change, right?
Yes.
Yeah. There's an old parable that I have heard time and time again, and probably part of it is because I say it, is that's probably why I've heard it. Just kidding. Is like there's an old man and a guy sitting outside on his porch, and there's a dog sitting next to him, and the dog is like sitting down and he's whimpering, and the guy he says to the old man, "Why's your dog whimpering? What's wrong with your dog?" And the old man goes, "Oh, he's sitting on a nail." And the guy goes, "Well, why don't you get him off of it? Or why doesn't he get up?" And the old man goes, "Probably because it doesn't hurt enough yet."
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes it's like which is unfortunate that we have to wait till it gets so painful before we make the decision to make a change. And if we were just to like say, "Oh, this is starting to sting," like when a little kid touches a hot stove, they're like, "Oh," it's not like they're going to leave it there and burn their hand off. They like jump back really quick. And then the mom or dad's like, "Well, you're not going to do that again, are you? You're going to be more careful." Even though they were told not to touch it, right? Because it was hot. So just out of curiosity with little children. But yeah. So anyways, how can people find you? And do you have a website? And also if you can please email me your links and so forth, that would be amazing. So we could include that in the bio.
Yes. I will email you my links. It's julianeswindlecoaching.com. And I have also a freebie they can get on my website. I can send you the link for that.
Okay.
And I also have a weekly newsletter they can subscribe to, which provides more in-depth information about certain topics. So every month we go through a certain topic. May was the sleep month, and this month is brain health. So we just cycle through all the different things that might affect a woman over 40 in her well-being. So yeah,
that's amazing. What is the freebie that you have that people can go to your website to get?
it's called the 5 aging mistakes and how to fix them now.
Okay.
So it gives you just a short, it's a little PDF which gives you a short overview of, I think, in my opinion, the 5 things that are most important for us, which includes obviously the diet. It will give you also more information about what I was just saying. So it might be really interesting for people who are interested in more information. So diet and sleep, as we talked about, stress is also a big one. Sun damage, and what was movement. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I know my mom loves being in the sun. I like being out in the sun. I know too much of it can be kind of crazy, but that's something I really enjoy. And I just love to feel the heat on my body, but I'm a Florida girl, so at heart. So, but no, that's awesome. Okay. Well, Dr. Swindle, I know I keep calling you by your first name, Dr. Juliane.
Oh, that's totally fine.
Yeah. So, okay. Awesome. Well, I look forward to connecting with you more. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And is there any last thing you'd like to share with the audience?
Just, as we said, start with little things and see how they can make a difference, and use what you have. Use Post-its, use phone reminders, use prep your environment so that it stimulates you in making little changes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, Dr. Swindle, thank you so much for hopping on, and I hope you have an amazing day. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Everyone, thank you so much for hopping on another You Are Loved podcast. You can definitely please visit Dr. Juliane Swindle's website. Take advantage of that freebie. We can always get healthier, create better consistent healthy patterns in our life. And to help you along with that, feel free to get the 21-day transformational journal. You can get it absolutely free at youarelovedjournal.com, and the link will be in the description. Have an amazing day, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of You Are Loved. If you have any topic ideas or would like to be a guest on the show, please hit us up on Instagram at youareloved.store.